Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, beautiful friends. And guess what? Yes, happy Women's History Month. I love this month because it honors all those magnificent women who have made significant contributions to our lives and right now are making significant contributions to our lives in their communities, in their jobs, with their families, and all over the world. It's not just in one little space, it's all over the world. And this is wonderful to celebrate these women who are here and who bring liveliness to this world, literally. So, my name is Andrea Berrigan, and I am a high ticket affiliate marketer. I work only with organic strategies here on Facebook. Why? Because Facebook is the place where we are able to connect and build relationships and make things better and better and better and serve people better and better. So, happy to be here again. I'm on a roll now, just doing all of these lives and bringing beautiful women to this space and learning more and more about them. So, if you are watching this live, please make sure to give StreamYard permission so that we can see your comments and your name. And please hashtag live. And if you're watching this on replay, please hashtag replay. And please press on that love button because when you do that, it will Facebook will give more people, the opportunity to watch this video. So thank you for being here. And and today I'm doing, oh my goodness, I'm getting all stuck. And welcome to another interview where we get to learn about high value women in this online space who are working to live a better, more prosperous, more fulfilling life without sacrificing their dreams and aspirations. And today, it's in honor of Women's History Month. It's a pleasure to welcome the beautiful Jacqueline Cadger. She goes by Jax, so we'll call her Jax, a powerful single mother, brick and mortar business owner, a coach, and an online entrepreneur. So, without further ado, let's welcome Jax.
Hello. I love that. I've got like a big smile on my face because you were like high value woman. I was like, yes.
There we
It's
go.
amazing.
Hello, Jax.
Hi.
High value women. Here you are.
Yeah.
Welcome to our space.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for asking me to do this.
Oh, no, thank you. Thank you for accepting. We're so excited to hear all about your journey. We want to know everything about you and we want to get to know you and we want to learn from you. Number one, learn from you. Thank you for
Okay,
being
I'll try my
here.
best.
So, today we will learn how she has proactively created a life that she loves and adores. So, Jax, first question. You have always had the desire to become your own boss. Tell us about that.
I didn't originally. I was always quite happy, working in an organization as long as I enjoyed it. I kind of discovered from a young age I wouldn't do a job that I didn't like anymore. And I was always quite happy working in a company. But yeah, I'd kind of actually for years always said if I ever moved back to Scotland where I am now, I would set up my own business. It was kind of like a throwaway comment. I think I've always had a bit of like entrepreneurial skills. I've done like little projects on the side. Um, but now, yeah, like I kind of lost everything and had to start completely from scratch. And it was kind of one of those things I was like, well, I may as well do it now. So yeah, and I won't go back. It's just so much better being your own boss if you get the luxury to do it. You can work everything around you. Yeah, and it's great. I love explaining that to my son as well. When he sees people and they're going, "Oh, that's their job and that's their boss," and I say, "But yeah, mom's her own boss."
And that's amazing. Isn't that amazing? And I think women instinctively have this desire to be their own boss, because it's just the way that we are able to create and expand and encourage other people. As mothers, we are our own boss. We teach, we nurture, and so this is just something that is innately in our genetic makeup. That's what I
Yeah.
think.
When I had my son, I it was a bit complicated with his dad, and we weren't properly together. Um, and so when my son got to a certain age, and I said I had that throwaway remark years before, if I ever went back home, I'd set up a drama business. Um, and I thought, well, this is an opportunity to do it, and I can actually do it around like my son. And it just so happened the first contract I got was at a nursery. And so I negotiated with them while I taught their children, they would watch my son, so I was actually able to take him to work with me. Yeah, it was just meant to be. It was great.
There you go, your own boss.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very
Wonderful.
fortunate because I know it doesn't always work out like that. But yeah, it just goes to show how powerful what you say can actually happen. As I say, I said that for years as a throwaway comment, and be careful what you say because it can happen.
It can happen. And if if we are creators, so whatever we set in mind, whatever we focus on, that's what's going to come to pass exactly when we need it, at the right time, for the right
Yeah,
reasons, and under the right conditions. Because I
I,
had
I,
a
I
situation.
yeah, I always used to say as well. I don't know why. I was like, I bet I'll end up as a single mum one day. Again, throwaway remark, and now I'm a single mum. So now I'm like, yeah, looking for hot guy, nice relationship, nice relationship.
It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. You've said it right now. You just said it. You just set the intention. Ah, wonderful. Yes. Well, I that happened to me as well. When I had my daughter, I had my daughter later in life. I was like 33 years old, and I was already an established professional, and I knew what I wanted, and I loved my job. And when she was born, I thought that I was gonna love staying at home and just taking care of my daughter, but I had this desire to go out and do something more. And I thought, I want to work with my daughter. I want to take her to work. And just as she was born, I created a business, and she was working with me side by side. And yeah, so things happen like that. When you really truly desire something, that's what happens. Yeah,
And
it's
that's the
all
key, isn't it? Actually wanting that desire. Whereas, I've said it doesn't work that way, unfortunately, for some people, but it's because they're thinking, oh, I can't have that. And I wish I could do this instead of actually focusing on creating it. But yeah, I was
exactly.
the same. I had my son and I was actually living overseas. And I was a businesswoman, educator, like running programs, an education center, running my own classes. I mean, I was so busy. And then I came back, and I couldn't get a job because I was pregnant. They wouldn't let me go on benefits 'cause I'd been out the country too long. And it was just, I just lost everything. So once my son got to a certain age and, I kind of lost this almost identity. And I was like, you know what? I need to do something that's for me. I love being a mum, but I need to do something that's for me too. And it just so happened he got to come along for the ride too with that work.
Not only did you birth a son, but you also birthed a business. Yeah,
It
perfect.
became my second baby.
Yes, 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 yes. And isn't it wonderful? Isn't it a great feeling?
Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody actually asked me once, said, oh, if you having all these other businesses, will you ever give that one up? I was like, no, never.
Wonderful, wonderful. And we have Jacqueline here, and she is saying, let's see, good morning, Jacqueline White. Thank you for being here. We
Morning.
have two Jacquelines. Here we go.
Yay,
And then,
great name.
and then Floor Javi, hello. And then we have, I want my own money. Yes, yes, we can only have our own money. You can't have somebody else's money. That's wonderful. Very good. So my next question, Jax, is, um, we you have your own drama club. We're just talking about your business. So you have your own drama club business. So tell us about it, because this is what you created when your son was born as well.
Yeah, he was only like I think 6 months old when I first started looking into it. Um, it's funny because it was just a throwaway comment I said for years. If I ever moved back home, I would set up a drama club for children in like the smaller areas because that's my background in drama. Um, and then yeah, and you know what? It was as simple as obviously I did the business plan and did stuff like that, but it was as simple as putting a post in a community page saying, "Would anybody be interested in drama classes?" And that nursery that I mentioned, they contacted me and said, "We would love to have somebody come do drama for a couple of hours a week." That was it. To me, that was it. Like, that's the business. It started. And then I knew I just had to grow it, you know? So,
And
yeah,
it
and
was
it's quite great. It was just me. And I set it up with that one nursery, and then I got some like little community classes. And, we're 6 years in now, and I've got two other teachers, and we have like 10 classes and, all different areas. So yeah, and it's been great, because it was really hard as well once I got it going to bring new people in because it's your baby, and you don't want to give it up. But when I started creating other businesses, I was like, okay, that's where I've got it. But I can take people in and get them where it needs to be, and then I can, start to give focus elsewhere as well. So yeah, I'm very fortunate. I'm very, very blessed, and I love the drama, and I find sometimes maybe this is something I need to work on because I have lots of little businesses. If one's kind of not going the way I want it to at the minute, I know it's always going to be okay because all my businesses are my passions. So I get the energy I need from each one, you know? So it all kind of actually balances out in the end.
wonderful, wonderful. And what I love about what you're describing is that it came smoothly, and I want to say effortlessly, but of course people can misunderstand that, because effortless doesn't really mean that that you don't make an effort. It just means that it flows, it comes. You don't have to stress over it, you don't have to force it. It came together
Yeah.
effortlessly.
I
And
just put myself out there. A lot of people have a business idea and it stays an idea, because immediately they shut themselves down or their chatterbox takes over and says, oh, that's stupid, or you won't be able to do that, or you've already got a job. How can you manage this? And how will you juggle doing this and that? And you know what? I didn't have any of that. I just thought, do you know what? I said I'd have a drama business. Let's just see. I put myself out there and just kind of went with what happened.
exactly. And Jacqueline, she's saying, you're a drama queen. Love it.
Even in the nurseries, every time I walk in, the children like they call me drama queen. I'm like, yeah, drama queen's here.
Yay! Yay! Wonderful. And children are so honest, right? They are so
Oh my
brutally
goodness. Like when
honest,
I go
right?
through my drama classes, as I was saying, like sometimes if one of my businesses is slowing down a little bit, it's okay because it's all about energy for me. And I can walk into a drama class, especially in nursery, and the kids, they're jumping and they're so excited to see you and they've missed you. I mean, if everybody walked into their place of work and got that welcome, there would be a lot more happier people.
So wonderful, so wonderful. And the interesting thing is that you're talking about energy. So
Yeah.
explain that, because a lot of people don't understand that. What are you talking about energy? We're talking when you go into a classroom where there's lots of beautiful children who are looking up to you and who want to engage with you and who want to follow you, then yeah, there's just this enormous beautiful energy going on. It's just, you're giving it, you're receiving it, and it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You feel the momentum. And even if it's tiring, you still feel so fulfilled. So tell us about that.
Yeah. For me, the energy is when I get it from doing stuff that I'm passionate about. So even like if one of my other businesses is kind of slowing down, I think, do you know what, that's okay because I'm getting the energy I need from this business. And I'm a big believer then obviously that the energy you put out, you're going to get back. I always say to people, like I'm into law of attraction, and I say you have to manifest and create the life that you want. It's a bit like paying a direct debit to the universe. And so you pay it like with your positive thoughts and your energy. And then as soon as you kind of go negative and you're low energy, you've not paid your direct debit. So you're not going to get what you want. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just really kind of love being around energy that keeps me high vibe, And it's impossible to do it all the time, but I know when I'm going off to do other things that are my passions, even if I'm around it for an hour, means I've still paid my direct debit.
And Jacqueline, she says energy is contagious, and
Yeah.
she's exactly right, because I am right now. I'm feeling that energy from you. I'm just feeling that enthusiasm, that energy, that positivity, and yes, it is contagious, and it just makes you feel so good. Being around people with positive energy, high vibration is just you feel like you're on top of the world. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. So um, my next question is, so we all came from different backgrounds and experiences. What would you say is the one thing that we all have in common when we enter the online world to become entrepreneurs? Because you did that. You decided to go into the online world, even though you have this beautiful, wonderful brick and mortar business that you're growing, you're developing, you love it, you you feel that purpose in your life. But what made you become, or yeah, what is it that people have to have in common in order to go in to the online world?
Um, I mean, it's kind of, well, what you want to get from it. So for me, I wanted a freedom lifestyle, you know? And so I think it's kind of knowing your why you want to go do it. I mean, I love having little side projects and businesses, especially ones that bring in big money. So yeah, kind of the thing that we need to have in common is knowing your why and, your focus, your self-belief, and being around people that just get you and support you. I kind of came into the online world. I started with my coaching business. I had to learn so much because I didn't know about online businesses. And then I joined this group, which has been amazing and it's been so supportive. But yeah, I definitely think you need to know your why. Like that's what we all need to have in common. You need to know why you're doing it, because when you join something and you don't really know why you're doing it, it's going to be hard to create it. What's the end result? Why do you want to do this? Why do you want the online business? What's it going to bring to you in the future? You're just kind of like, it's something to do, it's, where's the energy?
Exactly, exactly. Where's the energy? Then yeah, I know, I understand that, because a lot of clients that I speak with, they will say, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to think. And then, well, yeah, okay, where's that energy? What kind of energy is that? Yeah, so
Yeah.
knowing your why
Then they,
is
yeah.
crucial.
Then they just get more things to be confused about. And then the universe is like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be helping you out with here.
Yeah, make up your mind, decide.
Yeah.
And Jacqueline says, like minded people. Yeah, that's what we have in common. In this group, definitely, we are like minded people. We all want freedom. We all want to live a life of purpose. We all want to serve in some way
We all
or
want
another.
everyone to win. I've never been part of a group before, where everyone's actually really genuinely happy when somebody wins. You can be in other groups, especially in companies and stuff. If somebody's getting more bonuses, you can get a bit jealous, like, oh, what are they doing? How are they managing it? We're all so supportive and everyone's so encouraging. I love it.
Yes, yes, and that's because competitions just breeds an environment of jealousy, and it breeds an environment of negativity. It doesn't empower people. Whereas the opposite of competition, support, growth, encouragement, all of that just breeds an environment, a nurturing environment where when we can look out for each other, where we can support each other, where we can edify each other. And that, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a loving feeling. Yeah, very much. Okay, wonderful. Okay, I'm looking at my questions now. So you are also um, you're also a spiritual coach. Tell us what that looks like, because a lot of people don't know what that looks like. What is it? What's all that about?
Okay, so for me, I'm like a spiritual lifestyle coach. So I kind of like to help people who are kind of at that point when they've got like, surely there's more to life than this, they've got the job, or they've got the house, and they've got married and the kids, or whatever, they've got to a point where they're like, I've done everything I'm supposed to. What's next? And they kind of feel like, was this it? I've done everything. What's next? And so I love kind of helping people have a lifestyle makeover, because often so many people create a life that they think is expected and they've done really well. This is what I'm supposed to do. And I've created all this. And sometimes they're still never fulfilled because it wasn't like the true them. So I like to help people connect back to who they truly want to be and create a life that they really want, So I always say when they come to work with me, they're getting a lifestyle makeover, So it's all about implementing small changes as well, because so many people, I work with so many people, and it's the same for everyone. We've got this chatterbox in our head, and be a bit of a dick sometimes, not very nice. And so I like to kind of help people like factory reset and reboot and get that chatterbox back on their side, because it's our voice. So we get to choose the frequency. And again, then it all comes in with being in alignment. When we've got that chatterbox on our side and we've got good energy, it means you're like this instead of like this. And then, just more powerful things happen when you're in alignment.
Wonderful, wonderful. So give us an example of what you start with and how you guide one of your clients, how you guide them to getting the end results that they desire.
Oh, I take them on a magical transformation.
Yay!
The magical is actually an anagram. So the bits that I work on, we work on mindset, because you got to get this little voice on your side first, and then I help them get in alignment and gratitude. You've got to have gratitude. You've got to be focused on what you do have instead of what you don't have. And then when you're more grateful for what you do have, you're just going to get even more things to be grateful for. What's that saying? When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So give them gratitude. And I work with people on like their inner guidance, listening to their intuition, confidence, because there's so many people out there that they've just kind of let life get on top of them and they've let it beat them down. And, if you want to create, you need to be a bit of a badass warrior. And that doesn't mean being center stage and screaming, look at me. It's just about owning who you are and taking control of your life. Awareness, I teach them about awareness. Those, you said you speak to people and they've got lost and they just don't know who they are, what they want to do. We spend some time looking at like, their spirit animal and their numerology number, their master number, things like that, trying to find out who they are as a spirit. And then, of course, we look at law of attraction, about what they're putting out and getting back. So, I'm magical.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you talked about gratitude, and that is really the miracle maker for me. That once we begin with that word right there and that idea of gratitude, it's a real game changer, because when you realize that everything you have is a gift, and then you start showing gratitude for that, then awareness opens up to so many possibilities.
I mean, every morning I wake up and I say thank you because I got to wake up, and we get to that day, and so many people wake up and they're like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen today. Whereas I wake up and I go, wonder what's going to happen today.
Thank you.
Same thing, different energy, and we get to choose. And but I understand there is times people are low and it's tough, and that's okay. You've got to process that, but it's not okay to stay in it.
Yeah. Exactly. I love that, Jax. You just hit on something that intrigues me like crazy: numerology. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I do this crazy thing. I don't know if it's crazy, it's just a me thing. But I like stir at some point every night. I'm sure everyone does. But I've now gotten to this habit of when I stir during the night, I grab my phone and I screenshot it and I instantly fall back asleep because I'm in the habit of doing it now. And then I wake up in the morning and I go see what time it was. So I think this morning it was something like 3:32 a.m. And then I go look up the numerology number for it and I write it down. And it's like my little kind of angel, spiritual, universal message for the day. I've been doing it for years. I love it.
numbers have a very special meaning, and for me, I don't know why, but I always love the number three.
Okay.
Always. I remember since I was very small, I loved number three. I don't know why, but just number three is really, really a very attractive number. I'm always thinking of three.
I have a number that like follows me. You know, every time I look at my phone battery, it's that percentage. My iPad, it's that percentage. It's in my phone number. When I set up my limited company, it was the first two numbers of my limited company. But everyone always laughs when I tell them because it's 69, and everyone's like, ha ha ha, 69. I'm like, this number haunts me.
Well, I think it's a perfect number because that's when I was born, 1969. So 69 is a perfect number. Yay! Well, the number that's really in my mind
You're born in
recently is,
69? You
yeah,
look amazing.
I was born in 69. But the number that keeps haunting me recently is 38. I just keep thinking of the number 38, 38, 38. What is with 38? I don't know, but hey,
You need to
who
look it
knows?
up. You need to look up that number.
Yeah. Okay, I love it. We could talk about this for hours and hours and hours, and Jacqueline will be with us too. Okay, my next my next question is so as a single mother, how do you juggle having both a brick and mortar business and an online business?
Oh, good question. I suppose they're my passion, so they kind of don't feel like work. um, and and I have amazing support from my family that help me out with my son. Um, but yeah, it's just kind of because I've created it, it works around me. It's not me running around trying to suit it for everyone else. It's my business, it's my life. I fit it around me. And it is a lot, but people always say, oh, there's not enough hours, there's not enough hours in the week. Like we all have the same amount. It's just what you do with them. Um, but yeah, I suppose it's quite easy for me to manage because, as I say, it doesn't feel like work. It's just fun. I tell everyone I play every day.
Oh, that's amazing. That's great. Yeah, and the key word, it doesn't feel like work. So when you're
Yeah,
doing what you love, when you find your passion, when you feel empowered to do what you're your own boss, you're doing what you've chosen to do, and that's key as well. You choose to do what you want to do, not you feel compelled or, well, I can't get anything better, so I'll just settle for this. And that's what I wanted you to talk about, that because a lot of people just settle. They settle for the minimum rather than really choosing to do what they truly, truly want and desire in their lives. So what you just said now, that
yeah.
if it doesn't feel
It's
like
it's it's
work.
people get in their comfort zone. And a lot of people don't even realize they're in their comfort zone. Like I've said before to people, like I think we're almost conditioned from a young age. We go to school and we study things that half of them we don't even like or understand, and then we have to take exams in them, and we're kind of brought up to ignore this feeling of things that don't fulfill us because we've got to do it. And then so when we get older and we get stuck in jobs or relationships, you're like, oh, do you know what? I don't really like this, but it could be worse, and they keep doing it. And they're ignoring their intuition, their inner guidance, and it's telling them this isn't fulfilling you, but we think we've just got to get on with it. And, we're grown-ups now. We get to decide.
Yeah, we get to decide instead of just saying I can't or I'm not, and all of those negative talk that you talk about, that inner voice that tells us that, oh, you can't, or but, and then the comparison and the imposter syndrome and all of these
Yeah.
negative thoughts that just overwhelm us. But actually, you're right, we are all adults. We get to decide, we get to choose, which
Salary
brings
is the
me
worst drug as well for keeping people stuck.
the
Salary. People get
oh
used to a
oh
certain
yeah.
salary, and then so they have a certain lifestyle now, and then people have a dream or something they want to go for, and they think, oh well, if I give up this salary or this job, I'm going to lose all this, instead of realizing what they could gain by going to have their dreams. I mean, there's been times like, when I started following my dreams, I was on a lot less money, but I was a million times happier.
You're following your dream. You were doing what you wanted to be doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I used to when my daughter was small, I used to say, because I love my job, my work, my profession, I loved it. I work with people, and it was just such a wonderful environment for me. And I used to say, I don't need to get paid for this. I really
Yeah.
don't need to get paid for this. I can do it. If I didn't need money to live, to buy things, I would do it, just
Yeah.
volunteer my entire life until I die doing this, because I loved it, because it's my passion. So yeah,
A life
I
of
totally.
passion is amazing. I always write how grateful I am that I get to create revenue from my passions. You know,
Yeah,
it's crazy because for a lot of people, they create revenue and maybe they might have a little hobby on the side which gives them that fulfillment. But to live a life of passion, it's, as always say and will keep saying, I'm very grateful that I was able to create it.
yes, yes. And Jacqueline, she says, when you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. It's true.
Yeah, as I said,
It's
Jacqueline, I tell people every day I play. I even say to people, if you ever catch me complaining about my life, you have full permission to give me a slap. I have nothing to complain about.
a wake up call, huh? A wake up
Yeah,
call. Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. And excuses be gone. Yeah, yeah, we can get stuck in that. We can get stuck with that excuses. Oh, and I think that also comes from not knowing what you want. Um, when you know your why, and when you know what you want in life, and what you want to do with your life, and how you want to impact people in your life, then your life becomes more clear, and that inner guidance, that inner compass takes you to actualizing
yeah,
your dream life.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't have like this drama business and all this stuff before, but and I had other work, and thankfully, a lot of the work I did before all this, I loved it as well. And I always said, well, as long as I've got a job I enjoy and I'm still got my passion somewhere in my life, and it's just kind of all unfolded as it was meant to, because I kept true to myself. So it can be hard
Wonderful.
to do though, there's life can be pretty tough at times.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if we didn't have those challenges, then how would we be able to know the difference between right and wrong, good and bad, high and low, cold and hot? We wouldn't
Yeah.
be able to know that, and life would be boring if everything was just heavenly. Life would be boring. We'd be looking to for things to get in
Yeah.
trouble.
It's like my son said to me the other day, he said, Mum, I wish it was a weekend like all the time. I said, but then it wouldn't be a weekend, would it? You feel the same.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It wouldn't be a weekend. It wouldn't be a special time. It wouldn't be a birthday. It wouldn't be. Yeah, it's we have to have those uh, what is the word I'm looking for? Polarities, and we have to have the differences. Yeah,
Yeah. You got to have the tougher times to learn and grow, and then it makes you appreciate the better times even more.
yeah, and have
You
compassion for
want to get back
people
to
as
that.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Precisely. Wonderful. Okay. So next question, which is really ties into it. So why do you think we continue to live unfulfilled lives that keep us stagnant? And we talk about it. We talked about that, but more specifically. Yeah, we live stagnant. We get stuck, and we start living these stagnant lives, and we just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fear is such a big thing, and not listening to our intuition. Fear is probably one of the biggest ones because we've lost a lot of people have lost self-belief in themselves, so they don't think they can go do something. And again, it's our mindset that always holds us back. And as I said, a lot of it starts from certain ages when we're younger, and our brain is like formulating all this data and it's figuring everything out, and then it stays and we forget to kind of change it as we get older. um yeah, fear is huge. And it's so hard to push through because when you feel like you do want to change and you think, you know what, I am going to go for my dream, your chatterbox goes, hold on, we're making a change, but we can't figure out what the result is. If we can't figure out the result, this could be dangerous. So we're going to tell you something really bad so you don't go do it, because we are doing our job and we're keeping you safe. So it tells you something really bad. You can do that. You're not strong enough. You're not smart enough. You go, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'll not do it. And then your brain goes, phew, good job. Kept that person safe. They're not making a change.
Exactly, exactly. And Jacqueline, she says, fear is the four-letter F word. Yeah. And then,
False expectations appearing real.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And we get programmed, precisely.
Yeah.
We get programmed. And
Because I've always been the opposite. I've always had fear of, oh, what if I didn't do it and it worked? And I didn't go for it. I would rather go for something and fail than never try. And
yeah,
thankfully, I had that attitude, because I've been in like different places around the world. I've had different jobs, different businesses. It's been great fun. But it's because I pushed through the fear. But it's
yeah,
really hard to do because our brain
yeah,
doesn't want us. And a lot of people often around us don't want us to either. I remember when I got offered a job in Vietnam, I think my mum, the first thing she said was, oh, but you don't know what it's like over there. I said, neither do you. So
exactly,
it could be
exactly.
great.
Exactly. There's just all of this. There's a lot of stereotypes. There's a lot of, and we all feed into it. We all, we hear things, and we allow those voices and those messages. And I mean, we get it everywhere. We get it from inside our minds, and we also get it from outside the media. We get it from friends. We get it
Yeah.
from everywhere. But it's just knowing exactly what we want. So yeah, I mean, we don't know what's out there, but there's a possibility that whatever is out there could be exactly what we need.
As they always
So
say, the grass is greener on the other side. But when you're in your comfort zone, you're sat on your couch and you know everything. Okay, I've got this job and I've got this bill and I know how everything works and I'm comfortable with that. And that's okay. I mean, if you're happy, that's great. But when there's something that you want, you've got to break through that and step out your
yeah,
comfort zone. And that is scary, really scary.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And often breaking out your comfort zone and pushing to do something new, it's a very individual thing. And sometimes we get scared of doing things on our own. We want somebody to do it with us, and then it becomes an excuse. Oh, I need to wait for this person to help me, or this person's going to come do it with me. And yeah, and then there's always a reason why we can't do it. I learned from a very young age, which I'm very grateful for, that I learned. I remember once I wanted to go to a club. I think I was like 10 or something, and I think it was football or something like that. And I asked all my friends if they wanted to go, and they said no. And I thought, oh, okay. And just something in my head went, well, why should you miss out because nobody else wants to go? And I went. And joined the club. And yeah, and ever since that always repeated in my brain when I wanted to go do something. I thought, why should you miss out?
beautiful, beautiful. Exactly. Why should you miss out? That
Yeah.
that's brilliant. And you knew that from an early age. Hey, you know why? Why should I stop something that I want
Yeah.
to do because somebody else doesn't want to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, why look for the why settle for less? Why do we have to settle for less? That's a
Yeah.
wonderful question. And Jacqueline, she says failures are lessons, and that's exactly right. Failures are
We
lessons.
don't grow unless we fail. If we do everything. People always wait for things to be perfect, don't they? And it's like, well, it's never perfect. You can't get it to perfect until you actually try it and then change it or improve it. Um,
Precisely.
yeah.
And we have the resources, we have the creativity, we have the intelligence to, yeah, change things, improve things, move things, whatever we would desire, we can do it.
Yeah.
Very good.
And the more we do
Wonderful.
it, the better we get at it. Like every time I create a new lesson for my drama club, when I start it at the start of the week, I mean, it's trial and error and I see what works and what's not working. And I mean, by the end of the week, that group gets the best version of the class.
Yeah, exactly. Trial and error. And that's how we progress. That's exactly how we progress. That's how we make things better. I mean, I've I've been doing these lives for a week now, and I feel a lot more confident now, and I feel a lot more relaxed, and I don't feel like I'm stressing or sweating or anything. I'm having fun and making mistakes, but that's okay because next week I'll be even better.
It's like learning
And
an instrument or learning something new, isn't it? We're
yeah,
always nervous and we're like, I can't do it, and we give ourselves a hard time, and it's like, you gotta start. You gotta keep doing
exactly.
it.
Yeah. Start and keep doing it. Not just start and stop. Start and keep doing it. And Jacqueline, she says, that's why so many people don't worry. Try stepping up. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Try stepping up. Stepping up is the only way to progress. And so, my next question, in your opinion, what are the biggest problems that coaches face right now?
Right now.
Yeah.
Um, oh, good question. What do coaches' biggest? Okay, I don't know what to say. That's thrown me a bit. I would say maybe I think for coaches themselves, a lot of issues I always come across, especially for new coaches, it's I don't know where it's come from, but there seems to be this big thing like you have to have a website and you have to have like all these other glitz and glamour, and that's what you need to be a good coach, and that's what's going to get you clients. And I mean, that hasn't been my experience. My experience has been just, connecting with people and coaching people. You know, people don't
Yeah.
work with you for your website and all this and that. They work with you for you, you know.
Beautiful.
And imposter syndrome is another one. I've met a lot of coaches recently, and I get things like, oh, there's so many coaches, and I'm like, yeah, but there's only one you. There's like 7.9 billion people in the world now. I mean, even if every coach that there was had like 100,000 people, there's probably still a lot spare to go.
Yeah. And how many clients do you need? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that when I was joining this group, and obviously I had my self-doubt, my chatterbox kicked in, and like, well, what if I can't get somebody to join? And I thought, there's I can't remember if it's 7.2 or 7.9, but there's like 7 odd billion people in the world. If I can't get one person to join, then what? Why is that? That's crazy.
Exactly. Exactly. There's only one of you, and you have something very special to offer because
Yeah,
your experience is unique. And so that is what's going to attract your ideal
yeah.
client. So that's something to think about. There's only one of you, and yeah, and there's like
I think
7
a big
billion.
problem as well with coaches is sometimes they're niche, like they don't know what to coach. And I always think, well, look back where you were a couple of years ago. What have you come through? What have you learned about yourself? What could you share with other people to where you got to now? You know? And then
Yeah,
that's what you help people with. You're sharing, like when we spoke about the challenges and how we learn and we grow from them, you've got to kind of share that with people.
exactly, exactly. And Jacqueline, she's saying, like Brianna says, you don't need fancy schmancy. Yeah, I
I
love that.
still don't have a website for my coaching business.
Yeah, a lot of people get stuck with that. A lot of people get stuck with the technical, the skills. I need the technical part. I need the skills. I
And
need.
then it just allows them to delay the actual, it's that fear again. Imposter syndrome also, but I've got to have this and I've got to have this. And it's like, no, just get coaching. Go be
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. Beautiful.
Or I need to do another course, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. And it's like, well, there's only so much you can keep reading all the books. And so I always say to
Yeah,
people, you can sit and read all the books on how to play tennis and know all the rules and all the regulations. And you can sit and go to somebody, I know everything about this game, but you're not getting up to play.
yeah, yeah. And that's something that I learned early when I was teaching in Japan. A lot of people would say, I've been learning English for years and years, and I still can't speak. Well, that's because you're not speaking. You got to speak it. You can't continue learning it reading,
Yeah.
writing, and learning the grammar. You got to actually speak it. You got to get out there, show up, and speak the language, and not say,
Like,
yeah, when somebody asks you, do you speak English? And you say no, well, there you go. It's mindset. If you just keep
yeah,
saying that you don't speak, that you don't speak English, then you don't. So you got to speak it. Yeah, that's it was something very interesting experience working with people who want to learn but don't want to implement it, don't want to show up, don't want to. They're lifelong learners, but they're not action takers, which is
yeah,
crucial. You want to really experience whatever it is that you want to do in life. Very good. Wonderful. Thank you. So, as a coach, how have you been able to benefit from this program, this wonderful program that we're in?
yeah. I think I shared when I first joined, like one of the first videos I watched, about the shadow blasting, and we learn about the archetypes and the lover and the prostitute. That was like one of the first things I watched, and it was mind blowing for me as a coach because at that time when I joined and I watched that, I was being told by my coach, up your fees, up your fees, up your fees. I was like, no, 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 no. I just didn't want to do it. And then I watched that video and I was like, it just made me like see how I was waiting to get my value from other people instead of from me. And it was just like one of those, like the penny drops, I got it. Um, yeah, and obviously the group's been great for me because I want this kind of freedom lifestyle. I've got my other businesses, so knowing that I can do this as well. And I mean, originally for me when I was joining, it was more about the personal development. And I mean, how amazing is it that you can do something that you are personally developing in your life and you can make bonuses from? I mean, if you went to a hairdresser and got a really good haircut and said to somebody, go to that hairdresser. And then the hairdresser said to you, thanks for recommending that client. Have the money I made from them. You'd be like, what? And that's essentially what's happening with this group. I couldn't get my head around it to begin with. It was just, yeah, amazing, and I love getting the bonuses. And for me, again, it's not a job. I'm just working on me and just sharing with people. So yeah, and then knowing that I've got that, because as a coach, sometimes I've got times where I've got lots of clients and times where it's a bit quieter. And then so knowing I've got this group, it just takes that little takes the pressure off because I've got that good energy and I'm focusing on my energy. I mean, even this week I didn't feel 100%. So instead of, feeling bad about I should be doing that, I just sat and like focused on the programs in the group, and I was like, did some energy work and yeah. And if you're
And
going
you
to be a good coach, you've got to keep working on you and talk the talk.
precisely, and that brings me to the next question, because a lot of people, they don't they feel that they they don't deserve to work on themselves. They're not worthy of working to work on themselves. That they shouldn't
Yeah,
spend $1,000 or $2,000. And it's funny to me because when we went to college, that's exactly what we were doing. We were investing in ourselves, and we weren't getting any money back, but we had that that future plan, that because we were spending 30, 40, 50, $60,000 on ourselves, on our education, that we were going to be able to get a return on investment later on.
yeah.
Unfortunately, sometimes it didn't happen because
But
you
a lot
know
of people they go study something and then they don't even get a job in that field.
exactly,
You know?
exactly, it's not what you want, it's not what you're meant for. So yeah, how do you feel about that? A lot of people feel like, well, I'm not worthy enough to invest in myself, I'm not worthy enough to work on myself.
Yeah, that's the fear thing again. I was the same a couple of years ago. I was thinking about when I was setting my coaching business up, it just wasn't working. So I needed to find like a program that would help me kind of get things going and launch it. And I found the most amazing one, and I really wanted to do it, but it was really expensive. And I was like, never spent that much money myself. And I mean, again, like we have, with like university and stuff. And I was like, I can't spend that much on myself. What if I don't make it back? It's such a risk. Again, I had to stop that voice and I thought, you will make it back. You will make it work. This is what you want to do. And again, and as you say, so many people put themselves like the bottom of the scale. Like I work with a lot of women and, it's always a family or first and this. And they always put themselves at the bottom and they're like, well, it's okay that I'm sacrificing myself because everybody else is happy. And I say, but you don't have to. You can be happy and everyone else can be happy. But yeah, we're just not used to investing in ourselves. We're investing something to get like a certificate or a product or, like a course at the end. But when you're investing in yourself to make yourself the best you can be, then you're going to have the better life, and having a great life is, priceless.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
it's priceless. Yeah. If I'm happy, everybody around me is going to be happy as well. Yeah. Instead of trying to make other people happy and you being miserable. Well, if you're miserable, other people around you are going to be miserable because they're going to get that energy, that vibe. They're going to feel that vibe that, you're like, well, I was doing this for you all the time and here I am stuck.
Yeah.
So who asked you to be stuck? Nobody. You did it on your own.
I get so many women as well. Like I say, they put themselves at the bottom. I'm like, you can be happy and everyone else can be happy, but then they get guilt and things like that. And we put all this shit on ourselves when we don't have to. We can choose to create the life that we want. And when you invest in yourself, it's the best investment you're ever going to make. Because like I've said before, we sometimes live lives that aren't true to us and we get lost. We get completely lost in it. When you just invest some time into yourself and explore who you are again, I mean, it's amazing.
Exploring.
You're going to have a happier life. You're going to have more successful relationships. You're going to succeed more in work because you know who you are and you know what you want. You're not coasting anymore. You're creating.
Yeah. High value women. Woohoo! High value. Exactly. So what is the most difficult part of promoting this program?
This group, yeah. So I've had some people really go at me for this group. Scam, pyramid scheme, MLM, and it's hard because it's not that. There's none of that. It's affiliate marketing, and a lot of people don't know what that is. So yeah, that's been the hardest thing. Is actually I sometimes thrive on when I get targeted. Because obviously there will be people thinking that. And I always really kind of comment back in a very professional and honest way. And I let people, you know what, it's about this. And I'm not defending myself. I'm just saying, well, this is what I'm doing and this is what it is. And then it lets other people actually who are curious see what's going on. And yeah, and I've had people who've attacked me then actually apologize because they go, oh, sorry, I thought it was something else. And I say, yeah, you did. And it's just whatever was going on in you that triggered it. So yeah, I think just the people that, because as well, when people have made up their mind about something, no matter how you try to describe it, it's there. But we don't have to spend too much time on those people, because people who get affiliate marketing and people who get online businesses, they'll get it. But yeah, it took me a while, because essentially when we make these bonuses, I mean, I know for me specifically, I know there is people in the group that this is a full-time business for them, whereas for me it's kind of a side project. And I literally do like a few hours a week on it. And, and I've made 4,000. And I'm like, how is that even possible? How does that happen? Yeah. And it's just crazy to think that, I just spent those few hours. I did a little bit of work on it. And I'm more about the energy work and the shadow blasting, which we get taught in the group, And yeah, and so explain to people I've just done this little bit of work. They can't get their head around it. Because we're so conditioned to, you have to work hard, work full-time job, wages, and do. And it's like, it doesn't seem real. And it's like, but it is. Like, I'm doing it. It is real. It's happening. So yeah, our brains like to make it more harder than what it has to be. So yeah, sometimes that's the hardest thing. People can't accept how simple it is.
And what a supportive community we have here. What a wonderful supportive community
It's
that we
so lovely. Everyone's so great. I mean, I kind of went quiet for a little bit when I first joined, and then as soon as you put a post up and just kind of reach out, and everybody's there. I mean, another thing that I love about it is as a coach as well. Because as a coach, things that is going on in our business is normally reflecting in our personal life as well. And anytime I put a post or I need some support, like I get comments. I mean, Brianna's been amazing. She's given me like a kick up the butt sometimes, and I'm like, that's what I need, you know? Yeah. And
Yeah.
as I said earlier, the fact that everyone is genuinely so happy when you win, because we're a community, when one person wins, we all win. And I don't know any other group that's like that.
And that's the truth. And that's the
Yeah.
truth. And that gives us more motivation and more, and just this energy to want to do more, to want to be more um, helpful and engaging and nurturing.
You make
Yeah.
me feel inspired as well, this community. I mean, I remember I went to one of the trips, I can't, was it last year and we met in Pitlochry in Perthshire. And I'd literally just joined the group, I think the day before. I didn't know anyone. I wasn't even 100% sure what was going on in this community. And I went on this trip. And I was just so inspired by everyone that was just trying to be good souls. And we were just tapping into our energy and we were wanting everyone to win. And I remember I came back home and my family, and I was like, so I used to own a house, and when I went through all my tough times, I had to get rid of it. And so I came home and I was like, going to buy a house again, and and they're like, how are you planning on doing this? I said, just you watch. Like, I had no idea how, but I just, after being around all these amazing souls, I thought, do you know what? I don't need to know how. It's just going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. You set the intention,
Yeah.
and everything happens. Everything falls into
And
place.
when you're like around like-minded people, you bounce off each other, you feel supported. And
Yeah.
it's good to have that. It's like I've got it from my other drama business. When I speak to the drama teachers, we speak about shows and ideas, and you get that energy. You don't always get that from your family or your friends because, maybe they're not drama people, they're not online business people. So yeah, it's always good to connect with people who get it.
Yeah, like Jacqueline said, like-minded people, being able to
Yeah.
connect with like-minded people who resonate with your values, who resonate from your heart center, and who understand, who have compassion, and want to be part of that circle of friends, that circle of influence. Yeah, it's wonderful. Last question, Jax, because I'm having a great time talking with you because you're just amazing. Your energy is just the highest frequency there is. It's love energy, love frequency vibrations.
Talking about something I love.
Yay! Yeah,
When
that's
it's
wonderful.
like I say, you bounce.
Yeah,
I'm not,
yeah,
I'm not going to be like this when I go off my tea. But yeah, when you're talking about stuff that you're passionate about,
yeah.
yeah, I get really excited. It's
It's
good energy.
wonderful. It's wonderful, wonderful energy. Thank you, Jax. So, what do you see yourself doing 3 years from now? I like to ask this question.
Okay, 3 years from now, do I see myself doing?
Hi, Krista. Krista is here.
Still,
She says, "Hey, beautiful
hi,
ladies.
Krista.
Hey, beautiful
Um,
lady, you." And
Still living my life of passions is what I see myself doing in 3 years. Um, Maybe I'll have that home that I mentioned. Yeah, do you know what?
not
I
maybe,
really,
you will.
well, yeah, I love that. Thank you for correcting me. I always love visualizing, being able to travel more and, I can work because of my other business, I get all the school holidays off, which is fantastic. And so I would love to be able to just kind of travel more in those holidays with my son and just know that I'm still earning an income even while I'm off on holiday. Um, yeah, and I would love to, even though I've got all my businesses, kind of just working a little bit more at home. So that's kind of already almost happening. Like my drama business, I started to take a step back and give the teachers more lessons so I could focus more on my online businesses. So
Yeah.
hopefully more of that. Yeah, that's a tough one where I see myself in 3 years. But what I would love is more traveling. Yeah. And keep earning a passive income and most definitely keep living a life of passion.
I love it. That's
And a
that's the
camper
aim.
van. I want a camper van. I'll have a
Yay!
camper van.
Okay,
I
good,
used to
good,
have
good.
one and I got rid of it in the lockdown, so I wasn't paying for two vehicles. And now that everything's kind of getting back to normal, I'm like, I miss my camper van.
Yeah, camper van. I've never had one, but I would love to have a camper van because I love
Oh, it's
going.
great. Mine was so small, it honestly looked like a piece of Lego. And me and my son would go in it, and it was teeny tiny. But now he takes great pleasure in going around and telling everyone that his mum used to poop in the woods.
Well,
I was like, no, a long time ago with a camper van. I was like, I like luxury, but I can rough it as well. Maybe I should have said that.
you can always count on honesty. That's great. We're building trust here. Building trust.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Living
I'm
a
a
life of
brutally honest
passion.
person.
And Jacqueline, she says, you're both wonderful. Woohoo! And you're wonderful
So are
too.
you, Jacqueline.
Thank
You've
you.
got a great
Thank
name.
Yeah. Thank you. That's best name. Best name. My cousin's name is Jacqueline too. Beautiful name.
Every Jacqueline you ever meet is always great.
Wonderful. Wonderful. High energy, chilled. Super. Super. I love that. I love that. So, Jax, it's been a pleasure. A really, really wonderful pleasure. This is my longest interview so far. We actually
Oh,
made it to 1 hour. Oh my goodness. And we could go on for another hour, I think.
thank
So,
you so much, Remy. I had to drive like it was about 2.5 hour drive, just, like not long before this call, because my son's gone to his dad's this weekend.
yeah.
And he lives like 2.5 hours away, so we meet in the middle. And I was driving back, and I've not been like 100% this week, feeling great. And I was like, oh, I've got to do this call. I thought, no, it'll be okay because it's just a call and it's just talking about your love, and it's been great. I've loved it.
Yay! Yay, yay, yay. So, well, you look beautiful and you look
Thank you.
happy. So, stay happy, stay beautiful, and let's keep going because you're going to make your dreams come true. All your dreams they're coming already. And we're in a wonderful community. And if you want to be part of this community, reach out to us. You can find Jacqueline um, Cadger
Yeah.
on Facebook. If you want to talk with her, if you want her to coach you, because she is an amazing coach. Um, so just reach out to her and she will take care of you. She's living
Yeah.
a life of
Some
passion.
of my energy.
Remember that. Yeah. Yeah. It's contagious. So you want to get together with her. And if you want to do affiliate marketing, if you want to be part of this amazing group where you get to share this wonderful energy, this wonderful community, reach out, send me a DM, and we'll be in touch. Thank you very much for being with us today. And thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you, Krista. And have a wonderful day. And see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Bye.